A Utah man travels to southern Nevada under mysterious circumstances, only to disappear without a trace. It's been 15 years since Steven Koecher went missing in a Henderson neighborhood. The search for answers for his loved ones continues. In tonight's Vegas Unsolved, News 3's Denise Ross shows us the new investigative efforts.
Somebody knows something and they're not talking.
He didn't plan this situation.
Out of the blue, I get a phone call from my sister saying, "Hey, have you heard from Steven?"
It's an admission that doesn't come easy for Steven Koecher.
Would we like to know all the answers? Absolutely.
The very real possibility that his older brother Steven is never coming home. A mystery that has haunted his family for 15 years. The last sighting, grainy surveillance video from a neighborhood in Sun City Anthem. It was December 13th, 2009.
I had hoped that maybe he would just pop up, that they didn't know who he was because of some mental health struggle that may have popped up, and that we would hopefully hear from him in a local hospital or something would pop up, or homeless shelter or something. But that hasn't been the case.
At the time of his disappearance, Steven Koecher was 30 years old and living in St. George, Utah. His family in Salt Lake City has no idea why he traveled to Nevada. His car found abandoned on that cul-de-sac in Sun City, with Christmas presents still in the back seat.
His actions were a little bit unsure why. We still don't know why, but definitely he was, doing something for somebody else.
Jim Burke and Kevin Wyatt are private investigators working the case pro bono. Their only mission, to find answers for the Koecher family.
During that time, the economy wasn't great. He was leaning on church and trying to find out jobs, but he didn't want to take money from the family. He wanted to try and make it on his own. And so we really think that he got hooked up into something that might not have been in his best interest.
Wyatt says there are some indications a drug cartel is involved, and he says there is new information his agency recently shared with Henderson police, evidence he's not able to discuss publicly yet.
He was involved in his community, he was involved in church, and to have him walk off the face of the earth is just unconscionable. I couldn't imagine it.
Investigators think whatever happened, this Henderson neighborhood remains the key. But after all these years, some residents have moved, others have passed away. And with no blood, no actual crime scene, this cul-de-sac has become both literally and figuratively a dead end.
He talked to a neighbor there, asked them if they wanted some money, which was kind of odd because he didn't have any money. So was he trying to deliver something or trying to drop off something? We just don't know.
As for Dallin,
I think out of every tragedy comes a great blessing. I think the blessing is for us that remain, we are closer together.
He believes Steven is most likely dead, but closure remains elusive.
I think the secondary tragedy, if you will, is that as years move on, the memories start to get dimmer.
According to Henderson police, this is still an active and open missing persons investigation, so they aren't able to comment at this time. But if you know anything that might help, please contact Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555. Denise Ross, News 3.
And if you'd like Denise to investigate an unsolved case, send us an email at news@news3lv.com.